Hello everyone. And from the last week, we are talking about this salesman data set, right? So we are talking about something called ordered database. Okay. So we're talking about this exercise number 2. So exercise number 1, I've asked you to prepare something like a study of DDL, DML, DCL commands. I mean study of database commands. That is exercise number 1. And exercise number 2, we have started with this salesman database. This salesman database has 5 queries. We need to execute 5 queries, right? So earlier we were covered the first and second query, and later in the last week we have covered third query. But I told you that in the next week I will be giving demo. So in today's lab session, let us try to complete this salesman database. I will be giving a demo on all the 5 queries. And let's start with a brief introduction and a brief recall of the last week labs session. Okay. So here the task is we need to create a three table, right? So we need to create a three. The idea is to create a three database for a salesman, and where you will be trying to access the data from one table to the other table. So by this, you should be familiar with primary key, foreign key. You should be also familiar with subquery, and you should also be little bit familiar with ordered database and cascade. So we have used a term called a cascade in the last week. We talked about cascade. So which will help you to update the reference to primary key. I mean the reference to the parent and child. So when this is getting updated, that all the reference to key, I mean the reference to child will also get update. So for that, we are using update cascade and delete cascade. And now let me talk about this salesman problem. See, consider the following schema for ordered database. And what is that is first you need to create a table called salesman, right? So this salesman is a table, and this salesman is a table which holds salesman ID, right? And which holds salesman ID, name, city, commission. And if you see this, among salesman ID, name, city, and commission, the most important key which can help you to retrieve all the other attributes is salesman ID. That is SID. Then that will be the primary key. So then I should choose this as my primary key. Similarly, like if you take student database of your ERP, so where I can use USN number as the primary key, USN number or AUID as the primary key. So be always remember that the primary key should be always unique, and primary key should not be null, and primary key should not have any redundant data, any redundancy in the data. Okay, so I've done with the first table. I need to create a first table called a salesman ID, name and city and commission. Okay, now I need to create one more table called customer. So this is going to be the second table. So database is multiple collection of tables, right? So database is not a single table. Database is a collection of relational tables. So customer table. When I talk about customer, what are the columns that I'm going to hold as customer ID, customer name, city, and grade. So the customer is going to, the customer is going to interact with the salesman database table. I mean, the customer table is going to interact with the salesman table. So the primary key of salesman table will be salesman ID. Now that will be acting as a foreign key for this table called customer. Okay. So since customer ID will be unique, customer name will not be unique. So there are chances of having the name duplications. So having duplicate names, having repeated names. So I need to take this customer ID as a primary key for this database table. Okay. So in that case, customer ID will be acting as primary key for the second table. Sorry. Fine. And now the third table that which I'm going to create is orders. Okay. And again, when I talk about order, I need to go with order number, amount purchased, ordered, and date. So when it comes under order, it is somewhere it is going to connect with the salesman and customer. Since salesman is the one who is going to carry out, who is going to work on that order ID. So whatever, whenever the customer wants to query with the whenever wants to query with that database, he can do with the help of order ID. See, this is simple. Like when you place an order at Food Panda or Zomato, so you will be getting an food order ID. Like so, the salesman will be tracking with respect to deliver ID, and similarly, like the shop, the hotel who is going to prepare and give the food, they also will be tracking with the help of order ID. Okay, so that ID will be unique. So here I should take this order number, right? I should take this order number. So now this will be acting as my primary key, right? And this will be acting as my primary key. So of course, for each and every table, I'm going to have a primary key and I'm going to have foreign key. Foreign key numbers. So the order ID is going to connect with customer and salesman. So from salesman, I have taken salesman ID. From customer, I have taken customer ID. Okay. So this is the first logic. So first we need to create that salesman table, second customer table, third orders table. After creating the tables, then we should start executing the queries. And even in terms of exam, I will tell you. Just give me a minute. So even in terms of exams, so if it is given as like write SQL queries to count the customers. Okay. Even if it is asked for you to write SQL queries to count the customers with the grades, then you need to first create the database and then you need to do this. Okay. So first one, write SQL query to count the customers with the grade above Bangalore's average. Now let us talk about all these five queries. Okay. So we have three table, right? So we have three table. One is salesman and second one is customer and the third one is orders. And if you see to it, salesman ID will be the primary key and here it will be the foreign key. Similarly, order number will be the primary key. And this is the logical representation. I mean the basic idea, what is there behind the relational. I mean how all the three tables are connected, linked, related each other. Now let us discuss the query one by one. So this we have done the last week. So count the customers with the grades above Bangalore's average. So you need to count the customers' grade only in the place city called Bangalore. So for this, first I need to write the query as select grade. So then I need to count, right? Count the number of customers. So count. So as count from customer, the table customer. Okay. So where grade is greater than select average, and here it should be space. So in execution, let's see. Okay. So select average of grade. So I need to take average grade from customer where city equal to Bangalore, right? Where city equal to Bangalore. And if you just look at this query in brief, you can see that is this is a main query, and within that you have one more query. So it is called a sub query. Okay. So earlier in the initial stages, like when we started with DBMS, we have done with creation of a table and all those things. So all those are basic level things, and this is little bit ahead more than others. Okay. Now let us talk about the second one. So find the name and number of all salesmen who had more than one customer. I need to find the name and numbers of all salesmen who had more than one customer. So for this, first I should take salesman ID. So select salesman ID, salesman name, count, customer ID. I'm not giving salesman ID since I need to count more than one customer. So customer ID from salesman, yes. And again, customer C, where S dot SID equal to C dot SID. And here I'm going using one more operation called group by. Okay, since I need to take with this from that and this group by having count CID greater than 1, who is having the count of customer ID greater than 1. See, customer counting the number of customers can be done with the customer ID. So to know how many number of customers are there, I can count with customer ID. Okay, and now let me move on to the next query. And this is what union operation. I hope earlier we have discussed about this. So let me take some uh, two sets, like for example a equal to 1 2 3 and b equal to 2 3 4, right? So earlier when you used to write a union b, like if you apply union you will get a 1 2 3 4, right? And we have one more thing called union all, and there if you write it you will be getting it as 1 2 3 and again 2 3 4. So we have these two operations, these two things supported in SQL queries. So union and union all. Okay. So now let us talk about the work that you want to do. So list all the salesmen and indicate those who have and don't have customers. I need to talk about two things. I need to list the salesman who has customer and who don't have customer. Okay, almost I'm going to talk about salesman with all the customers, right? So if I list a salesman without any customer, if I list a salesman with customers, almost I'm covering with all the data of customer. Let me take an example. If I have five salesmen and among the five salesmen, two has customers and three don't have customers. As a result of this query, I'm going to retrieve the information about all the five salesmen, not like two or three. I mean those who has customers and those who don't have customers. I'm going to get both. Okay, so that is why first you can see exist and second you can see not exist. Okay, so this is a little bit complex query. This is a little bit complex query. This is not a little that much simple query. First I need to take the salesman name exists as same city. So from the table salesman, yes, and again where city in, and now here I need to write the other query since I'm going to talk with respect to table. So select city from customer, right? So where salesman.id is equal to SID, and here I'm going to apply union. Okay, since I'm going to combine two tables, I'm applying union. Select yes name. Now not exists as same city from salesman table where city not in. Okay, so I need to take compare the cities. I have different number of cities in the table, like Bangalore, Delhi, Nagpur, Pune. So among those I need to talk about all the things. Okay, so this is the third query. And the fourth query is create a view. I'm sure that finds a salesman who has the customer with the highest order of rating. So this is something like if you take a Zomato, so you can see 20 to more than 50 people will be providing food delivery. I need to count or I need to find the one who has the highest number of delivery in a particular day. Okay. So for this, I'm creating a view that is called highest order. I can say this is as like a table again. So create view highest order as, now I need to write the subquery. Select salesman ID, salesman name, purchase amount, order, date. Only that will help me to identify who has the maximum purchase amount, right? Where s.id equal to o.sid. I mean, I'm going to compare the order with the salesman. Okay, now if you look at it, select maximum purchase amount. Who has done the maximum from orders? Okay, so order day, customer dot order day equal to order dot order date. So now this will help you to get the highest order as a view. And to view that, I'm writing it as select a star from highest order. And here you will not be getting this underscore. Just to make you to know, we have used this underscore. When you execute this, you should have this and highest order. This highest order should be in the same manner. Okay. And this is the fourth query. And now let us move on to the last query. So demonstrate the delete operation by removing the salesman with ID 1000. So it is simple. So delete from salesman where is ID equal to 1000. Okay. So these are the five queries that which we are going to cover in salesman table. So these are the five queries that we are going to complete it today. Okay. Now, okay. So now let's start with the execution demo. So whenever you execute this, it will ask you to enter a password. You need to give the password which you have created, which you have given when you created it. So I'm giving the password, and once it is done, you will get the information and like this. And now from this, what should I do is now I should see what are the queries, what are the databases that are available in the system. Okay, I hope font size is visible to you all. Okay, so usually we should use to hold show databases. Okay, where you can see the list of databases that is available in the system. So since we have created the tables in the second session, I will be using the same tables, but I will be executing the queries on the existing table. Okay, so since it is already created, you need not to create a new table. But first, I need to specify what database that I'm going to use. So earlier, I have used this database, right? Use the database sim5. So this is the one that which I have created for doing this experiment. Sim5. Okay, so now I should type use databases, right? So use sim5, right? Database changed. And now let me see are the data tables that are which I have created as available. Select star from the first table is salesman. Okay, so I'm getting four things: SKS ID, yes name, SCT, commission. And you can see here different status: Bangalore, Mysore, and Delhi. And this SID will be the primary key. And let me difference it. So this SID will be acting as a primary key for this table. Okay. And now I should just verify the second table. So the second table that we have created is customer. Okay. Select star from customer. Select a star from customer. And here again, the date primary key will be CID. Okay. And if you see this SID, so this will be brought here. This will be the primary key, and here you can see the same value. So that is called primary key and foreign key. Now I need to interact with the third table called orders. Collector dot orders. Okay. And now if you see here, this order number will be the primary key. And whereas if you talk about the foreign key, this s.sid will be the first foreign key, and this c.cid will be the second foreign key. So whenever if I apply a union operation, or if I apply a group, or if I do something with the other table with the two, three tables, so then I'm going to talk or interact with the complete database systems. Okay, so now we are done with the tables creation. That's all. Right now we are done with the tables creation. And what does the next thing is? Now we should start executing the query. So that is our next job to do. Now let us talk about each and every query, like first, second, third, fourth, fifth. And let me talk with the first query. So this is the first query, right? Count the customer with the grades above Bangalore's average. And that is the first query. And let me take this. This we have done in the last week, right? So let us try to do it. Okay. So fine. Select grade comma count as count from where grade should be greater than the average grade. So this is the important one in this query, where the grade should be greater than average grade from customer where city equal to Bangalore. So I'm getting result as grade 500 count 3. So this is the result for the first query that which you want to do in the salesman table. And second query is find the name. And the second query is, this is second query, right? Find the name and numbers of all salesmen who has more than one customer. Okay. The second query is assign the name and numbers of all salesmen who had more than one customer. So now let us do it. I hope this last week I told you that we shall execute in the next lab. Fine. So what we have done is select salesman ID, salesman name, count from salesman where s dot here the task is where this one. Okay. So which is having count greater than 1. So whoever is having the CID greater than 1, that value alone will be displayed. Okay. So this is the second response query. So this is the response that we got for the second query. And now let us move for the third one. Third one, we have already talked about the third one. So we should use union operations and list all the customers and indicate those who have and those who don't have customers from the setting. Okay. So let me write it. So this is a little bit a complex query. Okay. So exist, not exit, not exit. So totally I have 5 salesmen. So I showed you, right? Exist as same city from salesman, yes, and not exist as same. Almost the query that you're writing it will be the same. And here executing it, here not executing it. Okay, so name and same city. So Arun and Asha, it exists. So same city exists. Whereas Sagar, Priya and Divya not exist. So these are the 5 salesman tables. So where I'm trying to find out with the help of union operation. Okay. Okay, this is the third query. Now let us talk on the fourth one. Let's see what is the fourth one. You need to create a view which finds the highest order of the day. To find the highest order of the day, I should talk in relation to the purchase amount. Okay, I should talk about thing related to in purchase amount. And let me tell you. See, create view, and let me try it. I already have created this table called highest order view. So I'm getting this error. That's not the issue. I will modify. Okay. So here the thing is that we should go for using max purchase amount. Select max purchase amount. So this is the thing that you want to understand in this concept. So the error is nothing like create table I is already exist. So since it is already existing, I'm not going to create a new. And if you don't execute it, you can create another table. So now what should be done is, now I need to see that view. So select star from highest order. Okay. So fine. Now you can see four rows in the data, which talks about the maximum purchase amount like 5,000, 3,000, 4,000, 450, and it also gets you the order date. Okay. If required, you can update the order date database table. If you plan to do something like design an UI and then connect that with your database, then that will work in a better manner. Just now we are trying to execute the SQL query in the platform. Okay. So if you're doing that, then that makes the difference. Okay. And now I'm talking about the last one, demonstrate the delete operation. And I need to remove the orders which has and now I need to remove the operations which has ID 1000. That should be deleted. I'm just going to remove, not doing anything else, right? I'm just going to remove, not doing anything more than that. So delete from salesman whereas ID equal to 1000. Okay, so query, okay, one row affected. It means the query got executed on the side salesman table. Now let me try to execute the salesman table. Select star salesman. Select the star from salesman. Okay. So now I can see the deleted table. Okay, which one value, one row has been removed from the table, and remaining values are being displayed. Fine. So this is up to salesman table. So with this, we are concluding exercise number 2. So next we will be moving on to library database. But before to that, uh, what is the other thing for evaluation is, I have created a Google Classroom for assignment for this exercise number 2 salesman. And now what you need to do is, earlier you uploaded first query, second query, and the last week you uploaded third query. And for today, what you want to do is, first take a document. I mean, take a 4 sheet, and let it be a document. We not to write it by hand. Let it be a Word document. Okay. First, create write. First, open MySQL and display the 3 tables. Okay. Like similarly, first table customer, second table salesman, order. No, just don't create a table since we already created in the last week. So don't create a table. Just display the tables. Just display the 3 tables and then write the query. I mean, write the query. Third query. So write the query 3, and below to that, like what is the query like that? You need to use union operation. You need to combine and display it. So write it. Below to that, you can place the query. So thereby you can hold the result. Okay. You can screenshot. You can paste the screenshot of the result. Similarly, query 4, and similarly, what is the question number 4? And for question number 4, what is the query that we have written? Next to question number 4, query, and next to that, a screenshot of the result. And similarly, question number 5, and next to it, query for a question number 5, and a screenshot of the same. Okay. So do it and upload it to Google Classroom. So with this, we are concluding with Salesman ID, and now it's your turn, and start doing it parallelly. And let me know if you have any errors or any discussion that you want require related to this. And I want each and every one of you do this task. I can see like in the last previous weeks, there are more number of students. I mean, I have not uploaded the file in Google Classroom for evaluation. So if you're not uploading it, you will be losing the assessment marks for a particular day. Okay. So if you don't rate it with highest priority, then you are going to lose. So I mean, I want that thing that you have done should be unique. Don't copy it from the other. In some way, you should make the query or the table to hold your name or use something like this. Okay, and just only this when you start doing it practically, only that you will get experienced. Else, you may not be aware of using these queries. Just if you just take the screenshot of the others, those who have done it and placed it. Okay. So other than this, even whatever the theory concept that you learned related to database, try to implement that in SQL. Okay. So this is the task that you want to complete it today. So parallelly, let me ask like one by one to show your screenshots and to share the screens and to have some interaction in Viva. Okay. So once we are done with this, let us continue with the next task called library database management system. And again, that is the same task. Like we need, you have created a salesman or customer order, and then we have written queries. Similarly, there you will be creating a table for books, and then in a particular way, one for a public and name library stock, and then we will be trying to access the number of textbooks available in library and number of textbooks issued. So all these things which a normal library management system does and look after the same thing. Okay. So any queries with these things, let me know. So as of now, we have done with this all the 5 queries. Okay, I hope this is fine with you all. And let us start with a discussion like one by one interaction. Okay, let's see.